Are you him? Are you Sauron?
I have many names.
Spoiler alert. In The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Sauron's true identity is no longer much of a secret, but he still will not reveal it. The villain's only response to questions about his identity, or guessing that he was Sauron during seasons 1 and 2, was, "I have had many names."
I have many names.
He has never used the name Sauron in Rings of Power, but he will readily adopt nicknames like Halbrand or Anatar. Because author J.R.R. Tolkien deliberately crafted the Dark Lord in this manner, this has a bearing on Sauron's persona inside the canon of The Lord of the Rings. The only time Sauron has, as of yet, refused to reveal his identity was just after he killed Celebrimbor in Season 2 of The Rings of Power. The elf, whom he had tricked into thinking he was Anatar, an emissary of the Valar, had delivered some stinging remarks about Sauron's impending demise.
Anatar.
The Rings of Power he made to heal Middle-earth, he warned him, would be his downfall. When Sauron started crying after hearing these remarks, an orc barging in asked, "Are you him?" "Are you Sauron?" Sauron repeated, almost without thinking. "I've had many names."
Are you him? Are you Sauron?
But why? Welcome to Movie Spy. In The Lord of the Rings, Sauron detests his name. In Lord of the Rings, Sauron forbids his forces to use this name. Since he has never approved of this moniker, Sauron will not say his name in Rings of Power. Upon his joining Morgoth, the elves bestowed upon him the title, which in Quenya means the abhorred. The name Sauron was given does not entirely match, since he believes he is a big, strong creature who will restore Middle-earth and create a perfect, balanced world.
All Middle-earth will know, should Sauron prove victorious.
When discussing this with his army, Aragorn states that Sauron does not use his right name, nor permit it to be spelled or spoken in The Lord of the Rings. He detests being despised. Although Sauron uses a variety of aliases, he prefers his original Elvish name. Myron is a far more adorable name. The Dark Lord is even more resentful of the name Sauron because it was intended to be a parody of his original name. This villain was once a primordial spirit known as a Maya, and she was prized for her beauty, integrity, and cunning. He was known by the Quenya name Myron, which means the Admirable. While he lived in Valinor with the other Ainur, demigods and angels who assisted the god of the Lord of the Rings in creating the universe. Given that Sauron desires to be acknowledged as Middle-earth's magnificent lord and savior, this moniker is ideal for him. Naturally, Sauron took on numerous aliases during his sojourn in Middle-earth. Anatar, which means Lord of Gifts, was an appropriate title for someone who truly believed he was presenting something amazing and important to the elves of Eregion. He went by the names Zigur in Numenor, which means the sorcerer, or Artano, which means high smith. These two titles play on his unique skills. Subsequently, at the height of his power in the island realm, he went as Tar Myron, a combination of his elvish name and the title of a Numenorian ruler, essentially referring to himself as the adored king. Why power rings might never be used the preferred name of Sauron, Sauron could stay mystified. In Rings of Power, Sauron never insists that anybody call him Myron, yet he consistently avoids using that name. When his false monikers, such as Anatar, disappear, he just goes back to the cliched, "I have had many names." For the remainder of the season, this is probably going to happen because Prime Video might not own the rights to the moniker Myron. Due to Rings of Power's exclusive TV rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, it is somewhat more difficult to depict elements of the Second Age on television. The name Myron might feature in the series because it seems that Rings of Power has successfully negotiated with Tolkien's estate to obtain legal access to those names that are not included in The Lord of the Rings or its appendices. But it makes sense that Sauron would only use the names ascribed to his guys. He would never give himself a real name. He battles how people in Middle-earth view him in the Rings of Power, since no one seems to be ready to acknowledge him as a savior. The ensuing identity dilemma serves as further evidence that Sauron must heal himself. Thanks for watching.